I have never followed tick news day by day the way I have this summer of 2026. Not to scare myself, but because every news story reminds me of one thing very clearly. With ticks, it is best not to let them get a chance to touch you in the first place. Lyme, a lot of people have heard about it already. A red meat allergy after a tick bite is not as unfamiliar as it used to be either. And then there are rarer, more serious diseases that people are talking about more and more. I do not want to wait until I get bitten before I start worrying. New medicines, new vaccines, or better treatments, let the scientists do their work. My job is to reduce the chance of ticks getting close to me first. And there is one spot a lot of people overlook outdoor stuff. Not when you are walking through tall grass, but when you are done working, gathering your things, stepping into the garage, putting them in the car, or bringing them into the house. A tick does not need to bite you right out in the yard. It just needs to follow your stuff first. No need for another new spray bottle, no need to buy expensive gear, and no need to turn every gardening session into a stressful inspection. 3 steps. A few things you already have in the garage. 1 hanging spot, 1 sticky surface, and a few folds that need to be opened up. I will show you how to handle outdoor stuff before it comes back close to your body. All right, let's get to it. Why outdoor stuff can turn into a path for ticks to climb onto you. I did not realize this on a hiking trip. It happened right behind my house during a very normal yard cleanup. After a rain, I went out behind the fence to clear away a few small branches. The yard was still damp. Dry leaves had piled up along the edge of the fence. The grass at the base was still wet, even though from a distance the area did not look dangerous at all. I had gloves, a small tool bag, a water bottle, and a light jacket. After working for a while, I got hot. I took off the jacket and set it on a log. At one point, my gloves were lying on the grass while I grabbed the shears. The tool bag was leaning against the pile of dry leaves next to me. I did not see anything on me. I did not see anything crawling on my pants. I did not feel anything strange. But when I got back to the garage, I picked up the tool bag and saw a small tick crawling on the strap. It was not on my skin. It was not on my shoes. It was on the strap I was about to put back over my shoulder. I looked at that bag strap and then it hit me. It had just been sitting in exactly the kind of place I always tell people to be careful around low grass, decaying leaves, damp ground, and the edge of a fence. If a tick can grab onto your pant leg when you walk by, it can also grab onto a bag strap when that bag is sitting right against those spots. After that, I started paying closer attention. Anything that had been sitting close to grass, close to leaves, or leaning against a damp spot, I looked over carefully before bringing it into the garage. Some days it was the bag handle. Some days it was the wrist part of a glove. Some days it was the edge of a jacket. There was not a tick every time. But seeing it a few times was enough for me to change the habit. From then on, I stopped thinking of this as a clean or dirty issue. I thought of it as a spot I needed to block early before a tick had the chance to move from my gear onto me. Now the jacket does not go on a log anymore. The gloves do not go on the grass anymore. The tool bag does not lean against a pile of leaves and then go right back over my shoulder. I give these things their own spot before using them again. Very fast, very cheap, and a whole lot easier than standing in the garage checking every seam after the job is done. Follow me a little longer and you will see just how fast I do this. Method 1. Don't leave gardening gear lying on the ground. My first step is to make a temporary hanging spot right near where I'm working. You don't need to buy a new storage rack. You don't need to build some nice wooden stand either. I just need one spot sturdy enough to hang things up off the ground while I'm gardening. In the garage, I keep a few small things ready. An S-shaped hook, a carabiner, a short piece of cord, an old hanger hook. Some days I even use a temporary clothesline. Some days the wheelbarrow handle is enough. Use whatever you have at home as long as it keeps your stuff up high and does not let it drag across the damp ground. I usually start with the S-shaped hook. This thing is handy because I don't have to tie anything. If there's a fence, I hook it onto the fence. If there's a wheelbarrow, I hook it onto the handle. If there's a garden stake or a metal bar, I hook it there. It's very quick for hanging up a light jacket, a small bag, or a sweat towel. I use the carabiner for things that fall easily: gloves, a hat, a towel, a small bag strap. I clip them together and hang them from one spot. That way I don't end up with one thing in every corner. When I need them again, I only have to look in one place. The short piece of cord is for when there's no ready spot to hook onto around me. I tie the cord to a low branch, a chair arm, a garden stake, or the rail of a pickup truck. It does not have to be a fancy knot. It just has to be secure, not slip, and be high enough so the stuff does not drag on the ground. Before I start working, I pick a hanging spot within arm's reach. It does not have to look nice, but it does need to be sturdy enough, dry enough, higher than the ground, and not right against a bush. If I hang something up and the sleeve still touches the grass, the bottom of the bag still brushes against damp leaves, or the gloves are still dangling close to the ground, I move it somewhere else right away. I'm not looking for the perfect spot. I just need a spot convenient enough so that when I take off my gloves, take off my jacket, set down a towel or hang a bag, my hand can go there right away. There are a few places I avoid completely when setting things down: wet grass after rain, soft soil, rotting leaves, rotting logs, fence edges, where a lot of leaves have piled up areas where the dog usually runs through, and the edge of the woods behind the house. I don't need to analyze it too much. Those spots are damp, low, full of leaf bits, and usually make things dirty very fast. After a few times using this method, I noticed the clearest result at the end of the job. My stuff was no longer scattered around the yard. The jacket was still on the fence. The gloves were still clipped to the hook. The bag was still up off the ground. The towel had not fallen onto the wet ground. When I was done, I took each item down in order, without having to walk around the yard picking things up, and without having to guess which thing had just gotten mixed into which pile of leaves. This method does not kill ticks in the yard. It only does one very specific thing: it keeps my stuff away from low, damp, leafy spots while I'm working. To me, that is the first blocking layer. Before I even think about dealing with ticks on my body, I want to lower the chance that one climbs onto my gear first. Honestly, it does not look pretty. An old hook on the fence, a pair of gloves dangling from a carabiner, a bag temporarily hanging from a low branch. But it works. And in my yard, if something works, I keep it. So I think of the hanging spot as the first layer. It keeps my stuff from sitting right against grass, damp leaves, and soft soil while I'm working. But if my gloves fall onto the grass or the tool bag has already touched the ground, before I get a chance to hang it up, I don't use it again right away. I move to the second layer, cleaning it off with a lint roller or tape. Method 2. Roll it clean with a lint roller or tape. My lint roller sits right near the garage door. Anyone looking at it would probably think I use it for dog hair on my clothes. But this summer, it has another job, giving gardening gear a quick roll before I use it again or bring it inside. If I do not have a lint roller, I use duct tape or packing tape. Nothing fancy. I just need a sticky side strong enough to pull off anything that is crawling on the fabric. I also keep a small bag nearby for the used tape. I do not want to pull something off my gear and then toss that piece of tape back into the yard. The way I do it is very quick. If it is a jacket, I roll over the shoulders, collar, cuffs, and hem. If it is gloves, I roll the outside first, then the wrist area. If it is a hat, I roll around the brim. If it is a backpack or tool bag, I roll the straps, the backside, and the bottom. With gardening pants that have cargo pockets, I roll around the pocket, opening the pocket flap and the pant cuffs. I do not roll like I am scrubbing something clean in the wash. I just need the sticky surface to touch the fabric, lift off, then move to the next spot. If I use duct tape, I tear off a short piece, wrap it around my hand with the sticky side facing out. Then I press it lightly onto the fabric, one spot at a time. Packing tape works too, especially on thinner items. Duct tape is stickier, so I do not press it too hard on thin rain jackets, hat mesh, or fabric that tears easily. If a tick is still crawling on the fabric, I want it stuck to the tape before it gets another 10 minutes to find its way into my collar. After doing this a few times, I realize something. If anything is still crawling on the surface of the fabric, I want to see it here on the tape, not after that item has already come back near my wrist collar or shoulder. Let me be clear here. Tape is only for ticks that are crawling on fabric or gear. If a tick has already attached to your skin, do not yank it off with tape. Use fine-tipped tweezers or a tick removal tool, grip it close to the skin, and pull straight out. But a lint roller only handles the outside surface well. So what about pocket openings, seams, glove cuffs, and backpack folds? Those are the spots I check next. Method 3. Open the folds and check. When I was little, I used to see my father check his clothes after working outside in the yard. He did not just look at the outside. He pulled open the pockets, flipped back, the cuffs, checked the pant hems, and then hung the clothes up. Back then, I thought he was being too careful. Later, after dealing with ticks, more often, I understood why he did that. Yard clothes are not just one flat piece of fabric. They have pockets, edges, seams, zippers, straps, and a lot of small corners. If you only look at the outside, it is easy to miss something. A tiny black dot sitting in the corner of a pocket or under a fold of fabric can disappear from your eyes very fast. So my third step is to open those spots up. I start with the pockets. If I am wearing cargo pants or gardening pants with cargo pockets, I pull the pocket opening out, look into the two bottom corners, then flip open the folds on both sides. Cargo pockets are very handy because they can hold shears, string gloves, and a phone. But because they have so many folds, I never just pat the outside and move on. After the pockets, I look at the seams. I do not need to stare at them for long. I just run my hand along them once, looking as I go. If there is a zipper, I open it a little and look around the zipper edge. With a jacket or a gardening shirt, I check the collar cuffs and hem. These are places that often fold over, so if you only roll the outside, you may not see everything. Gloves are the same way. I open up the wrist part before putting them back on. With a hat, I look around the brim and the inside edge. With a backpack or tool bag, I lift the straps so I can look at the underside. Just because the top looks clean does not mean the underside is clean too. If I do not have a mirror, I use my phone camera. I quickly check behind the collar, the back of the backpack, the back of my calves, and around the straps. There is no need to turn it into a long inspection. Just about 30 seconds before that item touches my body again. Since I started doing this, I no longer trust that quick glance just to feel better. With ticks, the spot that gets missed is what worries me the most. A pocket edge, a seam, a small glove fold. If I do not open it up and look, then, as far as I am concerned, I am not done checking yet. So my 3 methods are very simple. Hang your gear up off the ground, roll the outside clean, then open the folds and check. None of the steps are expensive, none of the steps are complicated, but when you put them together, they help me handle the things I use outside before they come back close to my body. But before wrapping up, there are a few things I think I should make clear, because with ticks, getting just one small step wrong can make everything more complicated. So let me quickly answer the questions I think a lot of people will wonder about most. A few things that need to be made clear. Before you try this, I want to mention a few things I wish I had paid attention to sooner. These are not complicated rules. They are just small mistakes I used to make while working outside in the yard, and it is much better if you can avoid them from the start. First question, should gardening gear be brought straight into the house? For me, no. Jackets, gloves, hats, backpacks, tool bags. Those things usually stop in the garage, on the back porch, or in a separate spot near the door. I do not put them on the sofa, the kitchen counter, the bed, or the living room floor right after working outside. No need to make a big deal out of it. Just remember that anything that just went through the yard should get a quick look before it goes deeper into the house. Second question, does doing this really help with prevention? Yes, but you have to understand it the right way. These 3 steps do not kill ticks in the yard, and they do not guarantee you will never get bitten. They only reduce one very specific chance a tick grabbing onto outdoor gear and following you into the garage into the car, or into the house. To me, prevention is not waiting until I see a tick on my skin before dealing with it. Prevention is blocking some of the paths it can use to get to me right from the start. Third question: if time is short, what should you check? First, I prioritize the items that touch closest to my body: hats, towels, jackets, gloves, backpacks, shoulder bags. Those things can go straight to your head, neck, hands, shoulders, or back. After that, I move on to folding chairs, bigger bags, or hand tools. When you do not have much time, do not try to make everything perfect. Handle the things that are about to touch your body first. Fourth question: what should you do if a tick is already attached to your skin? This part needs to be done right. Do not use tape. Do not put oil, soap, nail polish, or anything else on it to try to make it let go on its own. Use fine pointed tweezers, grip it as close to the skin as you can, then pull straight out with steady pressure. Do not twist and do not jerk it hard. After that, wash the area and wash your hands. Last question: does this replace tick spray body checks or protecting your dog? No, I think of it as one layer for handling gear. It does not replace checking your body, taking care of your dog, treating clothes, or using tick repellent properly when needed. But it closes off one spot that is very easy to forget: the things from the yard that follow you into the garage, into the car, and then into the house. With ticks, I do not believe in just one trick. I believe in a few small habits done at the right time, easy enough that I will still do them tomorrow. Because the goal is not to wait until you get bitten and then deal with it. The goal is to reduce as many chances of contact as possible, starting right out in the yard. All right, here is what you should do next time before you head out into the yard. Keep an S-shaped hook, a carabiner, a roll of tape, or a lint roller right near the garage door. Pick a spot outside to hang your stuff before you start working. When you are done, do not carry your jacket, gloves, backpack, or tool bag straight into the house. Hang it up, roll over the outside, then quickly open the folds and take a look. The most important thing is this: do not let outdoor stuff come back close to your body before it has been handled. Hang it up if you can. Roll the outside, open the folds, and look. That is all, but that is how I lower my own risk before things go any further. I will put this 3-step list in the video description so you can pull it back up before you garden. If you have ever found a tick on your gloves, backpack, jacket, or outdoor chair, leave me a comment and let me know where it showed up. And remember to subscribe, because I will be sharing more simple ways to protect your yard during tick season.